Good evening, everyone. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. Let's begin. First up, Trump to sign budget bill will declare national emergency. President Donald Trump will sign Congress border security compromise, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said today. The announcement removed the last ounce of suspense over the fate of the bill that would provide just a sliver of the money Trump wants to build a wall with Mexico, but also would avoid a new government shutdown. But McConnell said Trump would quickly declare a national emergency. The president has said that move would give him power to divert money from other budget projects into wall building. EPA says it's developing plan to manage chemical contaminants in water. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency is working on a plan to address industrial chemicals that have been found in drinking water in New Hampshire. But some say the plan won't do enough. EPA officials said they're working on a plan to manage perfluoroalkyl acid and perfluoroalkyl sulfonate, or PFOA, and PFOS. The chemicals have been found in drinking water across the country, including New Hampshire. The chemicals are commonly found near military bases and large factories and have been linked to increased risk of cancer and other health problems. Dunn said the EPA will develop ways to manage the chemicals. EPA is also planning to come up with safe standard for drinking water, help communities clean up contaminated water, and conduct more research. But some, including members of the state's congressional delegation, are critical of the plan and said that more needs to be done immediately to control the contaminants. Some said the EPA should be looking at more than just PFOS and PFOA. A meeting is planned in March in Merrimack to discuss the issue. Fire destroys building at Rock's Estate in Bethlehem. A fire destroyed 2 buildings at the Rock's Estate Christmas tree farm and wedding venue is not believed to be suspicious, investigators said. Bethlehem fire officials said they believe the fire started in a basement workshop. Firefighters were called about 6 p.m. Wednesday, and by Thursday morning, fire was still burning in the rubbles of the former tool building at the Rocks Estate. An employee was in an apartment in the building, but was able to make it out safely, and no one was hurt. The Society for the Protection of New Hampshire Forests has owned the property since 1979. Records were also stored in the building, but mainly said those records were backed up. The building was built in 1906 as part of the Glessner Estate. Manley said he's grateful to the firefighters who managed to save his house, which sits 30 feet away from the building. The Christmas tree also weren't touched. Firefighters were unable to save another structure which housed a seasonal golf gift shop. Teacher Jessica is one of those brides-to-be. She was supposed to be married at the Rocks estate in September. She said she is going to start looking for another venue for the wedding. Officials at the Rocks estate said they will help people who had events scheduled there to find other options. Democrats critical of Sununu's comments during budget address. New Hampshire Democrats were critical of Governor Chris Sununu's budget address Thursday, calling some of his remarks a slap in the face. The governor proposed a $13.1 billion two-year state budget. At issue was a stern warning about raising taxes. Still, there was a lot both parties can agree on. The governor is proposing nearly $64 million in one-time spending for school building aid that targets property-poor districts. As expected, he's also calling for construction of a new, secure, forensic psychiatric facility to take patients out of the state prison. The governor said he also wants to make 62 new hires at the Division of Children, Youth, and Families, fewer than proposed by Democrats, but still a substantial increase. Some raised an eyebrow at the governor's call to legalize sports betting to help fund education. His contention that Democrats are pushing an income tax to fund paid family and medical leave remains a sore spot. Windshield smashed by flying snow, ice in Westmoreland, Henniker. Police in two jurisdictions are investigating apparent Jessica law violations after windshields of two cars were smashed today. Henniker police are investigating after snow and ice went through a car's windshield on Route 202 at mile marker 37. Police said the driver is lucky to be alive. Take a look at the photo. As you can see this photo right here. Officers said they are looking for a witness who spoke to responders, officers, but fled before the officer obtained his information. Police said that witness was a white man with a dark beard who was driving a black caravan. Meanwhile, in Westmoreland, State Police said snow and ice flew off a tractor-trailer at about 12:20 p.m. on Route 12 south and slammed into a car's windshield, cracking it. State Police said the tractor-trailer had a red cab and a white trailer. They are asking any witnesses to call Troop C at 603-358-3333. Since 2002, New Hampshire drivers have been legally required to clear snow and ice off their cars before getting on the road. Jessica's Law was passed after Jessica Smith was killed when ice from a tractor-trailer hit a box truck that ended up hitting her car. Drivers who violate the law face fines of $250 to $500 for the first offense and $500 to $1,000 for multiple offenses. Take a look at these photos. Sorry about that. Anyone with information, call New Hampshire State Police and the Henniker Police Department. New Hampshire primary. Gillenberg begins to staff up in New Hampshire on eve of a busy 3-day visit. Senator Christine Gillenberg has hired her first 2 New Hampshire staffers, and both have extensive experience in Granite State campaigning. Among 5 new campaign hirees nationally shared with New Hampshire primary sources are a New Hampshire State Director and Political Director. Leading the leadoff primary state campaign as State Director will be Pat Dunvoyne, who has managed campaigns at several levels. And now let's take a look at your U.S. stock market and see how your U.S. stock market closed for this Thursday evening. And here's a look at your U.S. and Americans stock market, as you can see. This whole chart right here. S&P 500 snaps 4-day winning streak after worst retail sales drop in about a decade. The S&P 500 and Dow Jones Industrial Average closed lower on Thursday following the release of much weaker than expected retail sales data. And now let's take a look at your national and world news. Trump's physical result shows he's gained weight, but in good health overall. White House. The White House on Thursday released results of President Donald Trump's physical that he underwent last Friday, and in one notable measure, it showed he had gained some weight since his checkup last year, weighing in at 243 pounds, various of 239 pounds previously. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday night, and have a wonderful Valentine's evening, everyone. And I'll see you back here tomorrow for another newscast. And I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Good night, everyone. Bye.